In Atlanta, Georgia, on Thursday, all over the U.S., there was really bad weather. It was snowing and it was really cold, all sorts of things. And Atlanta was hit really hard with an ice storm. It was really rare for that area. It was snowing for 2.5 hours. And the government decided that everyone who was working should go home for the afternoon because the weather was so bad. So all the workers and all the schools in the area, and it seemed at the same time they all had the same idea to go home. And so they all crowded the roads, and the traffic was just terrible. 200,000 people were just on the roads at the same time. Maybe even 400,000. So many people were on the roads, and the traffic got really backed up. And there were accidents, and the traffic was barely moving. It was terrible. How many people were there? We don't really know. And then a really large truck was on the interstate. It was really large, and it jackknifed, and it was blocking all the traffic, and nobody can get through. It was the worst. And the ice storm, the cars were just skidding all over the road, and there were so many accidents in Atlanta. Really bad and really terrible? No, not that bad, so they were lucky. But what happened was the people were all stuck, and they couldn't get through, and they were waiting and waiting. 20 minutes, their cars were stuck, there was nowhere to go. And the children were all stuck in school, and the school buses too were stuck on the road. And people were waiting and waiting all hours of the day. And they were like, what are we going to do? We're stuck. We can't do anything about it. And the big truck wanted to keep people warm, so he said to come on in the truck and just leave the cars, and so the truck took people home. And all the churches and the stores and the hardware stores, big stores, like a Home Depot or Lowe's, they opened their doors and let people come in that they were stuck so they can stay there to be warm inside. And all the neighbors, they all let people in and opened their houses and were generous. And all the traffic on I-85, they were complaining, what are we going to do? We're stuck. And a pregnant woman was there, and she had a baby. She gave birth to a baby girl in the weather. So that was nice. And so they brought her to the hospital. Everything was okay. And the family brought her to the hospital. And the car, they just left it. All the cars were just left on the road in the ice storm. Some all night were there, all night with no food or water. Where would they get it from? They were just staying for over 16 hours. And Interstate 22, the people were stuck in the traffic. And the National Guard, they came and they brought supplies for the people. Plus, the Army came and brought Army food. You know, they opened the package. It's called MREs, Meals Ready to Eat. That's what they're called. And they distributed them to all the people so they'd have something to eat. Plus, the governor called the National Guard, please help the school buses, clear a way so the school bus could get through so the children could get home. And finally, they arrived home Wednesday afternoon. Tuesday, all the traffic started all night. Wednesday afternoon, finally they got to go home. All the children, oh my gosh. And that was really terrible. All the storms, and they noticed that all the traffic all over the area was really stuck. All 60 million people live there. They're not really used to that. They're not used to that kind of weather. And altogether, about 7 people died. 5 in Atlanta and 6 in Georgia. And they're back to Atlanta. They saw everything was all, they were complaining. The roads need to be cleaned. We can't get through. The traffic, it's terrible. It's your fault. And the mayor, Ken James, said, the schools, the businesses, the government offices, and they all did the same thing. They all left at the same time and flooded the streets. Really, the town during the day should have noticed that altogether the people, about 1 million people, 1.2 million people were there for work and school and all sorts of different things. At the same time, bad weather, they all noticed they should leave. And I tried to hold them. I tried to wait and get the trucks to get ready to clean the road, but I couldn't. Everything was there. All the traffic was there. It's not my fault. I couldn't clean the roads. The school probably should have let the children out early. And, well, it's too late now. It's not important to be discussing it now. There's really nothing we could do. Another problem was the airports. About 6,000 flights were canceled, and many others were postponed. Oh, gosh, many people were stuck in the traffic, plus the airlines, they couldn't see where we're going to stay to keep warm, and they were stuck in the airport. Oh, I really feel bad for those people in that town.